Well, greetings, Sigma racing fans. We are coming at you live here tonight from Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Sigma ARCA Racing Series second race of the season. And last week we obviously saw Ryan White come out victorious at Armory Digital Super Speedway. While all the big dogs are racing in Daytona this week, we do have a short track battle here with our ARCA series. And starting on the front row, we have Ace Vaden and Jonah Burridge, followed by the 68 of Finley Herwig and the 00 of Violet Void, Santi Messi and Casey Klein. Last week's winner, Ryan White with Shy Turtle, Cassie Perkins and Craig Popgris, Chase Kovacic and AJ Kosnoff, Carlos Eduardo and Alex Sanvital, Timothy Buchanan with Tasha Wright, Sophie Harwick and Ralph Oberstadt, Joseph Hayes and Campbell Marsh, Kaylee Sheets and Craig Bush, Evan Snake and Brandon Butler II, Logan Nagy and Wormy Wormington, Hank Scorpio and Taylor Cording, Bailey Parker and Chasey Plays, Clutch Oak, Heen Clutch Oak with Billy Lovejoy. Newcomer this week, Dylan Smith alongside Drew Clue there. Joao Vitor with Ray Marcus. Donovan Heist and Johnny Blaney. Kyle Ottawa, Jamison Thole with Rand Kataz and Matthew Hubert rounding out the field. Laps here today is going to go by in a blink.
Gentlemen, start
as your ARCA drivers look to start the season off strong. Second race in, who knows what's going to happen here tonight. Usually short track racing lends itself to some bump and banging wild races.
Plus, how quick the commitment line comes up on you into turn 2 there. Don't let him speed because it's a short box right. Second was on the green line, wearing him out. He says he understands. Keep wearing him out to pin off from turn 4.
Off to the early lead, it is the 45 of Jonah Burridge, as Violet Void is up to second here. And the 19 of Ace Vaden slots his way into third. Casey Klein up to fourth, and Shy Turtle running in fifth. Lap 3 underway. Let's take a quick look in at last week's winner, the 70 of Ryan White. He's on the inside line, up to 10th so far, top 10. The best part is being on that inside line, so he's not going to be hung out to dry here. He's going to have to find his way around the 24 there. Alex Sanvital, one of the few drivers that's actually going to be racing in 3 different Sigma racing series. He's a truck, ARCA, and Bridge to Cup full-timer. Racing that unsponsored number 24. Kind of a last-ditch effort to get, you know, another driver in the seat, and the way it all worked out, Sanvital, a very stout driver to have in that seat for the team. As some of you might notice, there is some distinction now with the manufacturers. What was last year a Pontiac only chassis across all the contenders, now they've got Dodge out there with the Dodge Dart, Toyota Camry, the Chevy SS, and even the Ford Fusion. There is still Pontiac GTOs out there, just not as many as there was. Most of them that are out there at the Pontiac are kind of running leftover chassis from last year. If there are any, as I'm skimming through the field, it doesn't look like anyone's stuck with the Pontiac. Most of them all switched over to the Toyota, it seems. A lot of them did want to hop on with Chevy, Dodge, and Ford as well. It looks like no one in the Pontiac, even though it is available if someone wanted to run it. Santi Messi in 8th, as you've got Finley Herwig there in 7th, Craig Popkris 6th, and Shy Turtle with the top 5 at the moment. Your top 4 has not changed this whole time, as we are now about to be 10 laps into the race. Violet Void, we have seen her racing in the Truck Series already this year. And of course, this is her second start with the ARCA side of things. Not off to a bad start. Willow Racing with Willow Blake, definitely some of the best equipment that you can have in these ARCA wings, truck wings, wherever you're holding a team. We know how well that Willow did in 2024. It seems to have transitioned over to team ownership as well. And so Violet Void running second right now. New fastest lap somewhere in the last couple laps belongs now to AJ Kosnoff at a 22.007. This race is really going to come down to being won or lost by navigating lap traffic, as Jonah Burge leads the way right now. It's only a matter of time before the finish that he's going to catch up to the tail end of the field of 42 entries that we've got. He's in turn 3 on the exit of turn 4 as everyone else was entering turn 1 there. So I would wager, give it about 20 more laps, and he's going to be fighting with lap traffic. And of course, with lap traffic comes the risk of potential cautions that we might find. So Burge better be careful not to get tangled up with any of the lappers. He's running a good race so far. You don't want to make no mistakes. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a Sigma side-by-side break here. You won't miss any of the racing action. Don't go anywhere. Well, we're on lap 27 of 100. Top 4 spots have yet to change here, as Jonah Burridge has been leading a stellar run here tonight at IRP. Meanwhile, it looks like Violet Void losing a little bit of ground here, but Jonah Burridge is closing in on that lap traffic in front of him. I was wagering you'd probably see him bumping elbows with the lappers by about lap 35. We're about 6 laps short of that prediction. Could still happen here. No cautions through 30 laps here tonight. AJ Kosnoff, your fastest driver with a 22.007, and he's deep in the running order even. Won't be hard to find. There he is, 9th, so not bad, not too deep. A lot better than I thought. Top 10 running for Trevor Venture's team here in the ARCA side of things. Void Motorsports. Violet Void. See, this is a detail here you might remember at Indy. Last year we saw women power. The gals took it to the field here and finished 1-2 with the 66 of Kaylee Sheets, and at that time the 45 of Skylar Taylor finishing 1-2. Well, Jonah Burridge fills that seat for Skylar Taylor, but Violet Void could make it 2 years in a row where we see a chick winning. Don't want to jinx anything, of course, but so far looking good for that 0-0. Well, it's lap 35. Lap traffic still in the distance, but Burridge closing up still. So it's looking like the lap traffic might become a factor right around halfway here in the race. We're now 15 laps shy of halfway. Tail into the field, you've got the 64 there of Drew Clue, the 40 of Jamison Thole, the 32 of Joao Vitor, Keen Clutcho, Kyle Ottawa, Donovan Heist, Rand Kataz, Hank Scorpio, Bailey Parker, Logan Nagy, Matthew Hubert, Johnny Laney, Ray Marcus, Evan Snake, Taylor Cording, Dylan Smith, Haley Sheets, your winner from here last year, deep in the field running mid-pack. Sophie Harwick, Billy Lovejoy, Joseph Hayes, Chasey Plays, Ralph Oberstadt, Wormy Wormington, Brandon Butler II, Campbell Marsh, Craig Bush, Timothy Buchanan, Cassie Perkins in the top 15, as well as Chase Kovacic, Carlos Eduardo, Ryan White, Tasha Wright, and in the top 10 you've got Sam Vital, Kosnoff, Messi, Herwig, Popgris, with our top 5 still remaining with Shy Turtle, Casey Klein, Ace Vaden, Violet Void, and Jonah Burridge. Here we go. 60 laps to go. Make that 59. Violet Void making up some ground here. You can see that she's running a little bit better times behind our leader. 00 closing up. It's really a Camry 1-2-3, so Toyota showing their presence here tonight with 3 different teams. You know, we got Skylar Taylor Motorsports, Willow Racing, and the racing department, PRD in 3rd. We have a stalled car download. Looks like the 79 perhaps of Chasey Plays. Brake failure on the 79. So after losing brakes, at least with a brake failure like that, it's better to have a brake failure where you can stop the car rather than a brake failure where you're slamming into the wall. Rough day though for the 79. Rose running in 22nd and will likely retire here and finish 42nd. Still no caution. Our flagman stat on throwing it as everything was able to work itself out in the mix there. Really do have about a 4-car fight for the win here tonight, folks. Jonah Burridge trying to get his first career win in Sigma ARCA competition, as well as Violet Void. Ace Vaden has never won in ARCA, nor has Casey Klein. So this is what's awesome about this ARCA series, is it's kind of the great unknown. So many of our newcomers to the server get put in the ARCA series to prove themselves, and we're already seeing some new faces and definitely opportunities for new people to make it to victory lane in a Sigma racing event. Jonah Burridge is going to have to start getting creative here with lap traffic on the horizon. Race has stayed green for the entire 50-lap run to start. Perhaps we might be in store for a green flag race from start to finish. Well, before they catch the lap traffic, we're going to take another Sigma side-by-side break, so don't go anywhere, folks. Alrighty, so now this is where it gets interesting, folks, because Jonah Burge has now caught the tail end of the lead line. And this is where Violet Void can find herself in a situation to try and steal this lead away. Jonah Burge has led every lap up to this point, 59 and counting. But is he going to be pushed into making a mistake here with lap traffic? Or perhaps Violet Void makes the most of the opportunity here and outruns Burge? We'll have to see. I still would not count out the likes of Ace Vaden nor Casey Klein behind them, as they could still find a little bit of luck to go their way here. Definitely liking the line that Violet Void is running here. You can kind of see she coasts up the track a little bit from the bottom, where Jonah Burge kind of sits it in the middle there. But Violet Void's movements look a lot more fluid as she starts kind of low and almost slides it up high. Burge is clearly the faster car here with that 64 in front of him. How much of a fight is Drew Clue going to put up? Down to 39 laps left running here. The Sigma ARCA series, the schedule is very unique across all of our Sigma racing, as they will hit kind of their own special schedule. Whereas our trucks, Bridge to Cup and Cup, often are going to share similar races on a given week. But ARCA likes to hit some of those more obscure short tracks that don't get the same presence as a super speedway or a international racetrack like your bigger series usually go to. With the next race on the schedule, though, it's going to be some of your staple tracks like Phoenix, Atlanta, Dover, and Portland even. But then we'll go to Pikes Peak and Thunder Hill Raceway, which is based in, it's located in Texas. It's a short track. We're going to see a couple of heat races and a main event from those two heat races. That's going to be in April. Then you go to Watkins Glen, Daytona, New Hampshire, Michigan, Rockingham, and then Wiscasset in Maine. Some unique locations for tracks that you don't often see on a typical schedule. Then you got Five Flags, which is notorious for the Snowball Derby, Evergreen, Berlin Raceway, which is another late model racing track that hosts some big events, Chili Bowl, New York Street Course, Las Vegas, Langley, Kansas, Texas, Meridian in Idaho, with Pocono, and then every series is going to end up on the moon, where we're going to finish out the season at Mars Speedway. It's about a 2.5 super speedway. It's going to be wild having all of our series start at the same place, as we saw last week with Armory Digital Super Speedway, and then have all 4 of our series in at the same racetrack with Mars Super Speedway. Of course, this is your 15th anniversary for the Sigma Cup Series this year, but this is only the 2nd annual running of ARCA. And so, very fresh, very new series, and that's why it's going to be fascinating to see what comes of this 2nd season in ARCA. So far, Burridge is still holding dear with the lead. Violet Void in second. Ace Vaden fourth. And even now, you got Shy Turtle closing in on the leaders here. So we could have a 5-car fight for the win. Burridge has not been able to find his way around Drew Clue here as lap traffic continues to hold him up a bit. Because of that, with your lap traffic holding up the lead, it's only helping the others close up. Got to give credit to Violet Void for simply running her own race here. She didn't have to push the envelope and make a mistake. Quite the contrary, as she's hoping that maybe the leader will overdrive it and force a mistake here. Ooh, Violet's getting a little bit rambunctious there in second. You can see her trying to find some other grooves. And it might actually work here as she's kind of closing the gap on the 45 some more. Well, we're down to 24 laps to go here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Jonah Burridge has led every lap up to this point, 78 now and counting. Violet Void holding in on a second. There's not going to be any pit stops in this race. They should go from flag to flag here. We're going to have to start looking at potential points as to who's running where and what that's going to look like. Violet Void with a 5th last week and potentially another top 5 here tonight. Can't count her out from even finding it around this 45 car here. She could be your new points leader here once this is all said and done. As Ryan White sits about 12th in the field. Jamison Thole definitely not in a good running position here tonight. Nor is Taylor Cording really, or Chasey Plays. Chasey Plays dead last, so going from 4th in the points to who knows where after failing to finish the race here with a brake failure. We are into the 18 laps to go now. Violet Void trying to make it interesting as she has closed up on Burridge, but will she find a way around him? Once I get time, I'm going to also start scoring up. Each division is going to be ranked. So you can have a Northwest champ, a Southwest champ, Midwest, Southeast, Northeast, depending on the way the schedule is, what tracks we're running. You're going to have a track divisional championship, which is just going to be kind of a little moniker that we can give these ARCA racers. It's not going to be much more than bragging rights. Sorry, folks. I don't know if you've been able to hear me at all tonight. For whatever reason, the Gen 6 cars are really loud. And so I've been trying to portray my voice, get it out there and booming. But yeah, I turned it down again a little bit there, and I think I can kind of relax with yelling into the mic here. Engine failure out of the 89 of Wormington. So the only retirements here today have been from mechanical failures, as that is yet another driver that falls victim before the closing laps. Well, they always say not to count your chickens before the eggs have hatched. I think for Jonah Burge, those eggs are hatching at a rapid pace here. And he might be able to start counting those chickens, because 12 laps now remain. He has held on to this lead, and lap traffic has not actually even factored in to his race here. The one thing that is kind of scary is if he makes a mistake, there is a whole hornet's nest of drivers ready to pounce. And so, as Violet Void has held her second all night here, we are down to just 10 laps to go. Is Jonah Burge going to hold off here, or perhaps Violet Void find a way to make it happen? Ace Vaden, Casey Klein, Shy Turtle, those are all your top 5 right now. Craig Popgris, Finley Herwig, and Santi Messi even further back. We are down to 7 laps to go. It has been green flag from the start all the way up to this point. No cautions, no lead changes, but still enough racing left to go here that anything could potentially happen. This new seat for Jonah Burge opened up when Skylar Taylor made the move to Bridge to Cup. This ST Motorsports number 45 had a great ARCA campaign last year. And so it seems like the car might be good no matter what driver you throw in it. Jonah Burge eyeballing his first potential Sigma victory in all of the series of racing. He does contest some races in the trucks, and we are seeing him up in Bridge to Cup already. Yet winless across the series of racing that he does compete. You can count as many laps left on one hand. We're down to 5 to go here. It was a very relatively tame short track event here tonight. I figured we'd see some bumping and banging, but it's been more so follow the leader. Even once he caught up to lap traffic, he has kept it clean, not bumping or banging with any of his competitors here. But don't tell that to Violet Void, as she Would love to have a bump to pass moment here to win it. Just a couple laps left to go now as it's lap 98 of 100. Never was a caution thrown here as Jonah Burge and Violet Void are going to make it 2 more laps around this circuit. Void looking like it's the closest she's been all night. She's got to force the situation here on Jonah Burge if she wants to get it done. White flag waving in the air. There's only one more shot to get the win here tonight. Jonah goes high. Violet goes low. Lap traffic is not holding up Burridge near enough for Violet Void to make it work. As they come through turns 3 and 4, it's going to be Jonah Burridge with the checkered flag waving, getting the job done here tonight for his first career Sigma victory. Violet Void most likely is going to be your points leader after tonight, finishing 5th last week and 2nd here today. Ace Vaden, Casey Klein, Shy Turtle, Craig Popcris, Finley Herwig, Santi Messi, AJ Kosnoff, and Alex Sanvital round out your top 10. Then 11th, you've got Tasha Wright, Ryan White, Eduardo Kovacic, and your 15th person was Cassie Perkins. 100 laps done and complete here from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Jonah Burridge, your victory. Two races of 26 now in the books for this 2025 ARCA season. It's only going to get more exciting as we go along. This race last year was full of shenanigans, so it's crazy that we went 100 laps here tonight without any craziness. And congrats yet again to Jonah Burridge, getting that first ever Sigma ARCA Racing win. And that, folks, is a wrap here tonight. As you're going to see after here later today, the Sigma Cup Series race from Daytona for our Sigma Daytona 500. You won't want to miss it. Hopefully it's a good one, as the other Sigma races from Daytona this week have been pretty good. The other 2 races were won by one guy and one guy only, Andrew Moger, and he's going to have an opportunity to step into the field and fight for a cup win now. So could he potentially get the trifecta and sweep the racing week at Daytona? Something that would be his own accomplishment that no one else can get. But you'll have to tune in and see. So later, folks. See you in the next one. This is Jakester, signing out.